Hello and welcome to a very special midweek episode from Prose. Of course, today is good old St. Valentine's Day. It is a holiday that is quite divisive. Some love it, some hate it. But for the sake of celebration, I have arranged some poems for all of you. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the Prose Valentine special. Our first poem today comes from Christopher Marlowe. It is called The Passionate Shepherd to His Love. Come live with me and be my love, and we will all the pleasures prove that valleys, groves, hills, and fields, woods, or steepy mountain yields. And we will sit upon the rocks, seeing the shepherds feed their flocks by shallow rivers, to whose falls melodious birds sing madrigals. And I will make thee beds of roses, and 1,000 fragrant posies, a cap of flowers, and a kirtle embroidered all with leaves of myrtle, a gown made of the finest wool, which from our pretty lambs we pull, fair lined slippers for the cold with buckles of the purest gold, a belt of straw and ivy buds with coral clasps and amber studs, and if these pleasures may thee move, come live with me and be my love. The shepherds' swains shall dance and sing for thy delight each May morning. If these delights thy mind may move, then live with me and be my love. Our next two poems come from the bard himself, Mr. William Shakespeare. First is Sonnet 18, the very famous Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines by chance or nature's challenging course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag, thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. And our second Shakespearean poem, the far more realistic Sonnet 130, My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black hairs grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet, well, I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. Our next poem is The Definition of Love by Andrew Marvell. My love is of a birth as rare as 'tis for objects strange and high. It was begotten by despair upon impossibility. Magnanimous despair alone could show me so divine a thing, where feeble hope could ne'er have flown but vainly flapped its tinsel wing. And yet I quickly might arrive where my extended soul is fixed, but fate does iron wedges drive and always crowds itself betwixt. For fate with jealous eyes does see two perfect loves, nor lets them close. Their union would her ruin be, and her tyrannic power depose. And therefore her decrees of steel us as the distant poles have placed, though love's whole world on us doth wheel, not by themselves to be embraced. Unless the giddy heavens fall, and earth some new convulsion tear, and us to join the world should all be cramped into a planisphere. As lines, so loves oblique may well themselves in every angle greet, but ours so truly parallel, though infinite, can never meet. Therefore, the love which us doth bind, but fate so enviously debars, is the conjunction of the mind, and opposition of the stars. The next poem comes from Percy Bysshe Shelley, and is titled Love's Philosophy. The fountains mingle with the river, and the rivers with the ocean. The winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single. All things, by a law divine, in one another's being mingle. Why not I with thine? See the mountains kiss high heaven, and the waves clasp one another. No sister flower would be forgiven if it disdained its brother. And the sunlight clasps the earth, and the moonbeams kiss the sea. What is all this sweet work worth, if thou kiss not me? Next up is Meeting at Night by Robert Browning. The gray sea and the long black land, and the yellow half-moon large and low, and the startled little waves that leap in fiery ringlets from their sleep, as I gain the cove with pushing prow and quench its speed in the slushy sand. Then a mile of warm sea-scented beach, 3 fields to cross till a farm appears, a tap at the pane, the quick sharp scratch, and blue spurt of lighted match, and a voice less loud through joys and fears than the 2 hearts beating, each to each. And to finish our Valentine's Day special, I have 3 original poems to share with you today. The first, a villanelle entitled Because You've Cut Our Lives Together Short. Because you've cut our lives together short, the girl I know forever will remain. Your face beyond time's power to distort. So long as eyes can see, I can report the years will pass and life will be inane because you've cut our lives together short. So long as men can breathe, I will consort that though the seasons change, they do in vain. Your face beyond time's power to distort. Our eternal summer shall not contort or fray from wear of days destroyed by rain because you've cut our lives together short. But with no rain, the world lacks its support. Your face won't scorch or crack in awful pain. Your face beyond time's power to distort. And auburn hair won't gray. My mind the sort that knows autumn stays, but not my disdain, because you've cut our lives together short. Your face beyond time's power to distort. The next original poem is entitled Asclepius. Wrathful Zeus hurled the thunderbolt after hearing that a mere man dared to bring forth the spark of life and raise the dead. Such actions are only befitting a god, though the people adored the false deity, despite his punishment. Why must the healer suffer punishment? His idea is a potent thunderbolt pealing through a Stygian darkness of the false beliefs of the rocky isles, and every brutish man were cut short by this vengeful god, leaving a chthonic hero dead. And just for raising the dead. Thunderbolts and crosses, punishment, heaped on punishment, doled out by a threatened god, fearful of what one mortal man's thunderbolt might incite in his fellow man. Each god's fiery judgment rings false. Spiteful Hades, enraged Satan, scream false testimony, desiring more dead. Apollo and Michael lash out and defend man, each lesser god hoping to escape punishment while expecting a thunderbolt to rain down from an angry god, though each would be a loving god in his own right. Aside from false speech, there is no damning evidence, no thunderbolt to justify these men joining the silent dead. And do they receive equal punishment, all these tied to the fate of man? One becomes the savior of man. One serves a king but remains a god. One sits at God's right hand. One is struck down as for punishment. One is struck down as punishment. The man with the serpent staff is subjected to false logic, forced to join the same dead he strove to revive, a mortal thunderbolt. The mortal savior of man, brought low by a thunderbolt, only honored among the stars by a God who loves the dead and dealing punishment, never admitting his nature is false. And lastly, we have the lion and the raven. The sleek pitch bird chose to land in the lion's path, deigning to grace him with her presence. She cawed, "Why, lion, do you remain a solitary beast?"
"Dear raven,"
growled the lion,
"we two are the same. You ostracized for your beauty and your awesome intellect. Me for my ferocity, for my passion for golden eyes that see too much."
At that the raven saw the truth in his bold words, and two bonded souls came to feel true kinships. Tell came from far and wide of Serendipity's jest, that two beasts as fine as him and she were made so disparate, yet so compatible.
I love you. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining me this Valentine's Day, whether you're one who celebrates or one who shirks the holiday. Please keep your eyes peeled for more updates from Prose, and we'll be back in another week and a half with our regularly scheduled episodes. Happy Valentine's Day.
I love you. I love you. Please don't forget me. Goodbye. Take care of yourself. Please don't do that. I forgive you. I love you. I love you. Please don't forget me. Goodbye. Take care of yourself. Please don't do that. I love you. I forgive you. I love 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 you. Please don't forget. Goodbye. I love you. Please take care of yourself. I love you. Take care of yourself. Please don't do that. Take care of yourself. I love. Please don't do that. Take care. I please don't do that. Please don't do that. I forgive you. Please don't do that. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I love you.